Hey everyone, this is Chris from Profit Alerts. Here's a weekly update to kind of look over the market. Just want to show you guys exactly what we've been looking at here for the past couple weeks. Obviously, up here 11,133 back in April, I was saying that was the market top and to look for a significant correction. You know, we all know that that did happen. So the matter of what's going on here is pretty much just looking to see where this correction goes, how far we can fall, where the bottom is. All these areas were levels of support where I feel that we could fall. My target being 97.74 as of the past couple weeks here, which that was, you know, the lows that we've seen in this market, you know, pull back here back on May 25th. It hit that again, went a little bit under it, and so far has held this 97.74 and closed above it. And this trend line I drew here on a week or two ago, as where I saw that this would be where the correction would be, and when we could break this trend line, we can at least see a short-term pop. Does not mean that we're going to completely rebound here and the market is going to just, you know, make new highs or anything, but, you know, this is a start, and we have lots of resistance ahead. We have resistance exactly where I put these last night on the video watch list last night was the 200-day EMA at 10,238 and also 10,309. I think these are going to be key areas, and like I said, this week was very pivotal of where we're going to go. So here's the deal: is that this week is significant. I think that we're going to definitely see a bounce. We do need to get through these areas. It's going to be very difficult, as you can see the moving averages, this trend line here, which is at 10,364, and even the 50-day EMA at 10,447. These are all major areas where we have to break through. There's a good chance that we don't, but as far as I can tell, we broke this trend line. And if we can get past this resistance here, we can go to 10,719, test that, and go back to 11,000. That's kind of a little ways out, though. But, you know, I'm just kind of looking, you know, ahead of ourselves here. But the thing is that we need to first get through these moving averages, and a break and a close over these levels here. That is very bullish going into the trading week, if we can actually do that. But if we fail these, this is just going to be another place to take profits and to go short again. So just keep that in mind. You know, this could just be that little dead cat bounce that I was talking about, where I was expecting 300 to 500 points on at least a short-term pop. But we need to confirm if this is just a pop or if it's a new trend. But all the indicators are good. The stochastics are bouncing from oversold levels. The RSI is at this 50 level. Break of 50 to the upside is very bullish too. The weekly chart is what I like the most, is that we have this great candle right up and closing against this trend line that I've drawn here. So this is really the nicest candle we've seen since the correction. And if you look back on the trend, you know, the trend of previous, you know, on the weekly chart, the previous corrections here, that a candle like that after a significant correction is usually an indicator of a trend reversal. As you can see here, we had 4 weeks of correcting right here, back here in June 2009, and we immediately moved back, you know, and started rallying. And then we also had a correction here, 3 weeks, and then we had a nice candle and a reversed. And here we go. It's kind of pretty much what we're looking at as far as this, even though this was the most significant correction here, but this is kind of the trend here when it comes to these corrections here. Now we're kind of double bottoming off the February lows, and we're looking to reverse here. That's what it looks like now, but obviously we kind of have an issue here with these moving averages. There's also the 10-day EMA on the weekly chart, which is 10,395. Then we have the 10,458 level on the 200-day EMA on the weekly chart. So we have a lot of resistance here. Hey, we also have this trend line too, 10,364. So I'm going to say between this level and 10,500, there's a lot of resistance. If we can break over 10,500, then we're good. Until we can break over 10,500 and close over it, I think that it's not, we can't just jump ahead of ourselves here and think that this is the beginning of the reversal. But if it is, those levels can come and go pretty quickly, as we've seen in the past when we do reverse from a correction. But overall, I believe if you look at the monthly chart here, you know, actually looking at the monthly chart, you'll see, let me move back here a little bit. You will see that the trend is still technically up. This correction here is not really an indicator of anything else more than just it was a correction. You know, looking at the you know, the whole rally since 2009, yeah, this was the biggest correction we've had, but here we go, already making a nice, you know, forming a nice monthly candle here. after a significant pullback on this candle. So to me, I don't see it as anything more than a correction yet. We still are overbought as far as the monthly candles go. So just keep that in mind too, is that on the monthly chart, we're overbought. But we could stay overbought for a long time on the monthly chart, as you guys can see here in the past here. I mean, we actually stayed overbought. Looking at a 5-year chart on a monthly chart here, we were overbought from 2006 all the way to 2008. So we can stay overbought on the monthly chart for a couple of years. This is not really that big of an indicator. I mean, you even look at the RSI, how overbought we were back in 07, 08, and we're not even near there on the monthly chart. So this could be just the start of what is to come here. But obviously, I'm speculating looking at a monthly chart. That's a pretty big time frame there. So anyways, I also want to go over our AKS position that we've been buying, that I've been scaling into myself. I'm going to look at a daily chart here. AKS is looking really good. We're getting that break over the 10-day EMA. There's that resistance at 13.99, which it closed right at. This trend line I had drawn in here this whole time. We're above the 10-day EMA. The 10-day EMA is 13.73. We closed above that. Now it's just a matter of breaking over this trend line. I think this is where we're going to start to see a really nice move here, is once we can get over this trend line and break the high of 1402. We can see a run here to 1491 being the first target, and then 1525 is the next targets. And as you guys know, I've been buying since I'm trying to remember, the 1440. Then I added at I think 1368, and then doubled down at 1309. Also bought 500 shares of my Roth IRA at 1266. So for a long-term hold. So I'm up a couple $1,000 overall on this trade just from scaling into it. I think it's a good position. I think the stock is still oversold, and I think there's a lot of upside to be had here. And this is why I scaled into it and didn't go all in or anything or a full position right away, because I knew the bottom was very close around here, and we caught it pretty well, dipping down under the 12s here. And overall, I do like AKS. The chart is setting up really good. So looks very good. UCO is another one. Went long on today at 977. You guys know that I was saying the bottom is right around here. I should have bought probably down here instead of buying the options. But either way, the chart, you see the downside is 929 and the upside is $10 here. But it closed over the 10-day EMA, which is 960. That's bullish, even though the candle, is a red candle here. I believe that this was a good buying opportunity for oil. So I'm thinking here that we're going to break over the 10 and we're going to test 1050 next week, and obviously probably test the 1088 50-day EMA here at this blue line. So I think that's in the cards for next week, is possibly sneaking up to that $11 level and thinking oil is going to recover. The inventory data was bullish for oil prices last week. I don't see the inventory data changing very much. I actually see it working more in the favor of oil prices. So UCO should get a pretty nice bounce, and I was happy to start a good long position here on a pullback. Also, SIRI, bought SIRI today. Had a $1.02, closed at $1.01. Interesting candle that formed here today. I liked the candle better when I bought it, but here's the thing, is that the 50-day EMA is at $1, and we closed right on top of that, only by a penny. I thought it was a good risk reward setup. Not too much downside risk here, but there's a lot of upside here because this trend line I had drawn here a while ago, it likes to follow it a lot. As you can see here, there was like a little bit of a spike or a break here on this trend line that you can draw, kind of like a rough trend line. But either way, you get the idea. When you break this little flag pattern here, usually you'll see an upside move here, and that's what I saw with SIRI today. I saw this flag breakout here the other day. I could have bought in under $1, but I wanted to wait till this thing can close over $1. I thought it'd be a lot safer. So here we are. We're above the 10-day and the 50-day EMA. Overall, I like the stochastics here breaking over the 50. I like that the RSI is holding 50. I like that it's not very volatile right now. But the thing is, once we're over this support here, I think that we can see some volatility to the upside. And we're going to see maybe a volume increase now that we're above these moving averages. But there's a lot of support down here for a market that is a little volatile and a little choppy at times. I think that this is a good trade for a possible 10-cent move here. I think that once we can get going, we could probably hit at least $1.10, maybe a little bit more here. But I do see in the future a candle similar to this one over here where we can touch $1.10. and I think that would be a good play. And after that, we can obviously see a testing of some new highs here, but I don't want to get it too ahead of ourselves here because Sirius Satellite Radio doesn't really move too much. It goes a little sideways a lot. It's not very exciting to watch, and this isn't, one of the best trades to be in as far as price action goes, but it seems like a good, safe way to make some easy money going into the weekend here. Looking for a gap up on Monday, and I'm looking for the futures to be up on Sunday night too. Looking for this market to jump a couple 100 points at least on Monday or Tuesday. So, all right, guys, we'll have a nice weekend, and good luck next week. Thanks.